The question of who created the African god of creation might sound simple at first, but it opens a portal to a deeper understanding of African spirituality and cosmology. In many African cultures, the concept of a creator god goes far beyond human understanding of creation. The gods are not merely beings who were created, but entities that have existed since time immemorial, shaping and sustaining the world with their divine powers. In fact, many African spiritual systems don't even attempt to explain how these supreme gods came to be. They simply are, eternal, self-existent, and beyond time. Across the continent, from the plains of the Maasai to the coasts of West Africa, this idea of an eternal creator is shared by many cultures. The African god of creation, whether called Olodumare, Unkulunkulu, or Nyame, is often depicted as a being who was never born, never created, and has no origin. Instead of being a product of creation, these gods represent the fundamental, unchangeable truth of the universe. In a world where everything has a beginning and an end, the African god of creation exists as an unmovable constant, laying the foundation for all things to exist in harmony and balance. Unlike other mythologies where gods are often born or crafted by other powerful deities, in African traditions, the supreme god is typically described as the ultimate source of everything that exists. Their creation myths do not focus on their own origin but instead revolve around how they gave birth to the world, the universe, or other gods who would help shape the world. This unique perspective challenges the conventional understanding of creation and speaks to the complexity of African spirituality. What sets African creation stories apart from others around the world is that these gods, although central to the entire cosmology, do not necessarily create in the same way we might imagine. Instead, they often empower lesser deities, spirits, or even humans to carry out creation, while they themselves remain untouchable and omnipresent. In other words, the creation of the universe and the world is a collective effort, initiated by a supreme force but executed by the forces of nature and other spiritual beings. In the next section, we will dive into one of the most powerful creation stories from Africa, focusing on Olodumare, the Yoruba god of creation, and explore how the concept of creation without a creator plays a significant role in Yoruba mythology. But for now, remember this: the African god of creation is not bound by time, nor is their origin ever fully explained. They simply are, the ultimate source of all that exists. Among the many gods of Africa, Olodumare stands as the supreme deity in the Yoruba religion, revered as the creator of the universe. But what is particularly fascinating about Olodumare is that, like other African gods, Olodumare's origin is a mystery. The Yoruba believe Olodumare did not emerge from anything or anyone. Olodumare simply exists. This god is eternal, with no beginning and no end, making Olodumare a perfect embodiment of the idea that creation itself is an eternal force. In Yoruba mythology, Olodumare is not depicted as a being who was created, but rather as the source of all creation. He is the creator of life, the cosmos, and all living beings. However, rather than physically crafting the world himself, Olodumare chose to delegate this immense responsibility to the Orishas, lesser deities who serve as intermediaries between humans and the divine. These Orishas are the ones who shape the earth, control the forces of nature, and interact with human beings. Olodumare's unique approach to creation challenges traditional narratives found in other religious systems, where the supreme god plays an active role in the shaping of the world. Instead, the Yoruba believe Olodumare's power is so great that he does not need to involve himself directly in creation. He endowed the Orishas with the divine mandate to establish balance and harmony in the world, trusting that they would carry out his will. What makes Olodumare's role as a creator even more profound is the concept of Ase, a spiritual power granted by Olodumare that flows through all living things. Ase is the life force that gives everything its purpose, vitality, and energy. With Ase, the Orishas can govern over nature and human existence, but it is Olodumare who is the ultimate source of this power. Olodumare's creation, therefore, is not simply about physical creation, it extends to the spiritual and metaphysical, where divine energy flows continuously throughout the universe. The mystery behind Olodumare's lack of origin is a theme that permeates Yoruba's spiritual thought. In contrast to the more anthropomorphic gods of other traditions, Olodumare is seen as beyond human comprehension, too vast, too perfect, and too omnipotent to be confined to a simple creation story. This eternal and uncreated deity is a reminder that the divine cannot always be understood in the human sense of creation. Instead, Olodumare represents the unknown and the unmanifested, always existing, always present, and always shaping the world through indirect means. In the next section, we will explore Unkulunkulu, the god of creation in Zulu mythology, and examine how the idea of a god with no beginning or origin continues to echo through different African cultures. The Zulu people of southern Africa tell a story that is as enigmatic as it is powerful, the tale of Unkulunkulu, the supreme god who created the world. Unkulunkulu is considered the first human and the first being, a figure who emerged from the primal waters of chaos to bring order and structure to the universe. But like the gods of other African traditions, Unkulunkulu does not have a clearly defined origin. He is simply an eternal force, a god that has always existed, untouched by the constraints of time and space. According to Zulu mythology, Unkulunkulu's emergence from the chaotic waters represents the beginning of life and the world. However, his story is not one of creation from nothing. Instead, it speaks to the deep connection between the divine and the natural world. Unkulunkulu is not a creator in the traditional sense of a god forming the earth or molding it from clay. He is a force that sets the universe in motion. He is the first being to emerge in a world of endless potential, yet the Zulu do not describe him as created by anyone or anything. His existence is the bedrock of the universe itself. The Zulu view Unkulunkulu as both the source and sustainer of life. He is not only responsible for creating human beings but also for establishing the laws that govern nature. Unkulunkulu's role is not confined to the act of creation alone. In fact, he is deeply interwoven with every aspect of existence. From the sun and the stars to animals and plants, all of creation is believed to be imbued with his essence. However, despite his central role in the cosmos, Unkulunkulu is not actively involved in day-to-day affairs. Instead, he imparts his power and knowledge to other divine beings, such as the ancestors, who act as intermediaries between the people and the supreme god. What is particularly fascinating about Unkulunkulu is the Zulu understanding of his uncreated nature. While some African gods delegate creation to lesser deities or spirits, Unkulunkulu himself is viewed as an eternal presence, not subject to the process of birth, growth, or death. In Zulu thought, the god of creation exists beyond the cycle of time. He simply is, a fact that reflects the African spiritual belief in the timelessness of the divine. There is no beginning or end to Unkulunkulu. He is an eternal and continuous presence that defies human comprehension. Like Olodumare in the Yoruba tradition, Unkulunkulu serves as a reminder that creation does not always follow a linear, human-like progression. The supreme creator in Zulu mythology is a being who defies the limits of conventional creation stories. His existence is not defined by how he came into being but by what he represents, the origin of all things, the source of life, and the eternal presence that sustains the universe. In the next section, we'll delve into the Akan people's belief in Nyame, another supreme god who created the world and governs over life, yet shares the mysterious nature of these African creator gods. In the Akan tradition of West Africa, Nyame is the supreme god, believed to be the creator of the universe. Like other African creator gods, Nyame's origin is a mystery. There is no clear myth explaining who created Nyame or where he came from. He simply exists. He represents the essence of creation itself, embodying a force that transcends the concept of birth and death. Nyame's existence is central to Akan cosmology. He is not seen as a being born of other gods, nor is he created by any force. He is the beginning of all things, the source from which all life and matter emerge. In Akan thought, Nyame is not just a creator in the traditional sense, he is an eternal being, existing outside of time and space. He has always been, and always will be. His nature is that of an eternal, omnipotent force that holds the universe together. Nyame's role in creation differs from the way gods in other traditions might create. Rather than physically molding the world, Nyame imbues it with life and divine energy. He set the laws of nature into motion and created everything with a purpose. All natural forces, from the sun to the rivers, are thought to be a reflection of his divine will. For the Akan, the universe is not merely a physical space, it is a sacred manifestation of Nyame's essence. Everything, from the earth to the animals, exists as an expression of his creative power. Nyame's act of creation was not done alone. While he is the supreme deity, the creation of the world involved the help of other divine beings, such as Asasia, the earth goddess, who played a key role in shaping the land. Nyame's creative power is therefore exercised through a divine network of gods, each serving a specific role in maintaining the balance of the world. Nyame, however, remains the ultimate source of authority, guiding the world from afar. He is not one to engage directly with the physical world, but instead, his influence is felt through the actions of the lesser gods. What makes Nyame's creation story particularly intriguing is the emphasis on his uncreated nature. Like Olodumare and Unkulunkulu, Nyame exists beyond creation. He is eternal, not born of anything, and not subject to the limits of time. The Akan view him as the very foundation of existence, a god who cannot be explained by the conventional understanding of creation. Nyame represents the infinite, the eternal, the divine that simply is, and always has been. In the final section, we will delve into the most profound mystery of these African gods, their timelessness and the paradox of a creator without origin. This paradox, shared across many African traditions, challenges our conventional understanding of creation and continues to captivate those who explore the spiritual depths of the continent's ancient beliefs. The idea of an African god who has no beginning, no creator, and no origin is a profound spiritual paradox. Across diverse African cultures, from the Yoruba to the Zulu to the Akan, the supreme gods, whether Olodumare, Unkulunkulu, or Nyame, are eternal, uncreated beings. This raises a fascinating question: how can a god, the creator of all things, exist without having been created? The answer lies in the very nature of these divine beings, whose existence defies conventional concepts of creation. In most global creation myths, gods are born, shaped, or emerge from chaos, each with a clear beginning. But in African cosmologies, the supreme gods are seen as self-existent, timeless forces. They are not born, nor are they created by anything or anyone. They are the fundamental source from which everything else flows. These gods exist beyond time, space, and the linearity of creation. Their existence is the foundation of all that is, yet they themselves have no origin. This idea of an uncreated creator is a central aspect of African spiritual thought. Gods like Olodumare, Unkulunkulu, and Nyame are viewed as eternal principles, not part of a temporal sequence but the essence of existence itself. They are not born from anything, nor will they ever die. They are beyond time, untouched by human concepts of life and death. This concept challenges the human understanding of existence, revealing a divine order that is far removed from the human experience. For African spiritual systems, the divine is not confined to the linear passage of time. It is instead a cyclical force that transcends birth and death. These gods, whose essence permeates all of creation, are eternal beings who exist outside of the finite world. The cyclical nature of life, death, and rebirth reflects the African understanding of the universe, where the divine is not bound by the limitations of time and origin. The gods are timeless, existing before time began and continuing beyond the end of time. The mystery of an uncreated creator offers a powerful message about existence itself. The African gods are not just responsible for creation but are the very fabric of existence. They remind us that the divine cannot be confined to the temporal understanding of the world. Their role is to maintain balance and order, not to follow a sequence of events as we know it. For the African spiritual practitioner, these gods represent an eternal force that transcends human concepts of birth, time, and death. In exploring these African creation myths, it becomes evident that the question of who created the African gods is paradoxical. These gods exist outside the constraints of time and origin. They are eternal, self-existent, and their power and influence continue to shape the universe. Their timelessness is a reminder that the divine, in its purest form, cannot be fully understood or defined by human ideas of creation. Instead, these gods represent a cosmic force that simply is. Beyond time, beyond origin, and beyond our comprehension. In conclusion, the African gods of creation, Olodumare, Unkulunkulu, and Nyame, embody the profound mystery of eternal existence, existing beyond time and origin. Their uncreated nature challenges our understanding of divinity, offering a unique perspective on the cosmos. These gods remind us that creation itself is a force beyond human comprehension, infinite and eternal. The spiritual depth of these myths invites us to reflect on the timelessness of existence. If you found this exploration captivating, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more mind-blowing content.